Hello everyone and welcome to Full Spectrum Survival's World News Update for Thursday, September 15th, bringing you the news that you need to know. Let's begin. A bounty has been offered by Chinese authorities for the forfeiture of at least 5 foreign journalists charged with inciting a local rebellion and releasing footage and stories proving discontent within the communist nation. In news related to China, over 1.5 million citizens have been left without access to electricity and without immediate medical care following the landfall of one of the strongest ever recorded typhoons, and the most severe to move through the area since records began in 1949. Local media is reporting that water supplies and power outages could take weeks to fully recover. A reminder to those of us within the community that during times of crisis, we must ultimately protect and fend for ourselves until large-scale recovery efforts can begin, with water and security always remaining a top priority during any type of large-scale and potentially long-term emergency. Following 2 months of national security deliberations and the potential downfalls to the byproducts of such an idea, the British government has given its approval for a Chinese-financed nuclear power station to be built within the country. Security experts warn that not only is the nation selling out a marker of financial stability to China, a major financier who will undoubtedly expect a complete payback with considerable interest on the loan, British officials have likely written permission to inspection and the overall freedom of movement for Chinese officials within the plant, and likely many of the nation's infrastructural systems, in the inner workings of a deal that remains mostly restricted to the public due to its potentially classified nature. As Earth grapples with the beginning stages of the 6th Great Extinction event to take place on the planet, scientists who are working to map how the event will play out as well as its effect on humans have drawn dire warnings for our planet's future, where they warn that unlike previous extinction events which have killed off smaller creatures first, swiftly working its way up the mammalian food chain, the event that is currently unfolding throughout the Earth is targeting large species as well, leaving researchers to warn that not only is it a great unknown as to how swiftly this event will wash through all of the Earth, it is also an unknown on how these extinctions will affect humans and change disease throughout the world in what could be the single largest obstacle ever faced in the future of mankind's reign on Earth. And to wrap things up, insect-borne diseases are increasing throughout the world as India marks a noted uptick in chikungunya cases and related diseases such as encephalitis. Researchers warn that multi-drug-resistant bacteria are on the rise as even dangerous doses of combination drugs fail to tackle some of the world's worst rising organisms. Over 2 million citizens face dire food shortages in the African nation of Burundi following political unrest and national discontent. Facebook and other corrupt government-backed media outlets are censoring the truth and hidden dealings behind growing national protests against a multi-state oil pipeline. And a 5.2 in New Zealand combined with a 5.0 in India completes today's Quake Watch. And that wraps up this episode of the World News Update. Be sure to check us out tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern for the weekly live report, where we'll discuss ruck planning and how to get home during a disaster. And check back tomorrow for more news that the aware need the most. This week's World News Update is brought to you by themorganreport.com. Join the award-winning free newsletter and let the team at the Morgan Report both build and preserve the wealth that you've worked to gain. And sqmetals.com. Purchase the only currency that has held its value for centuries. Visit sqmetals.com for all your precious metal needs today.